ahead and talk a little bit about navigating Hudl, and this would be a good video to share with mom and dad if they look at Hudl through a PC or Mac, or if that's the way that you go through it. This first video will show how to navigate uh, using a PC, or in this case a Mac. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to open up a browser. I've got Hudl bookmarked in here, but you could get to it by just typing in HUDL. There's a login screen. My login screen won't come up because I have it bookmarked and I'm already logged in, but you would log in. Each individual player, athlete has a login. If you don't know your login or if you need a new invitation for your login, simply send me an email and I will take care of those things. Okay, so the first screen that comes up is the video screen, and so this is our video library. And actually, you can see you could go clear back to 2013-14 season, but this is our season, 2021 season, and so far I've got the Mound Ridge game film loaded up in here, and so you can open that game film up, and there's a couple of really neat navigating things that you can do. Uh, First of all, one of the things that I think is really important is, I will oftentimes save a playlist where it's sorted by offense, defense, and special teams. But you can see down here at the bottom, that's what I'm doing, is just simply selecting here so that I can sort it out by offense, defense. Also, when I code these things in, a lot of times I will code them in by offensive formation. So you can see here if we wanted to, for instance, watch every 2-by-1 type formation, okay, and we wanted to see what their play package looked like, we can look at every single 2-by-1 snap back to back to back to back to back, okay? But all those things are found here in our library. There's game footage, practice, etc. So a lot of times I will put practice film from our scrimmage times in there so that you can it's a one-stop shop in the video library. Okay, so next tab here, exchanges. That's really not something players have or need to worry about. That's how we trade film. But I do want to get into the playbook. So when you click on the playbook tab, you can see up here at the top, it's organized offense, defense, special teams. I'm going to go over here to offense. And, really when you look at the playbook, it could be a little overwhelming. Right now it says we have 666 plays in there. Well, we have 666 named plays in there. I'll use Ace Right as an example. So there's 113 of these Ace Right plays. Some of them are named, you could see here's Ace Right, Red Jet 12 dive RPO versus Madison. So a lot of times some of these names are, named for the particular, squad that we're looking at them against. But what I would say, rather than going into just the offense page, what you want to do is always navigate to this spot called installs. So each week you can see here's high school week 1 install. So this is the stuff that we started the season with. I can hit this present button and you can look at that. It sort of animates it for you as well. But anyway, you could scroll through and get kind of a 2D look at all the different things that we're installing. Now, I come to this page a lot when I'm talking through install videos, just to kind of talk about who the read guy is, what blocking scheme we're going to run, etc. But this is a good place. It's pretty similar to old school playbook where you come and those are the plays that are up for that week. So whenever you see this week 1, week 2 install, those are like the focus plays for the week, and there'll be installs for each opponent. So when I go into defense looks kind of the same way. We've got the 2020 defense in here, but again, I want to look at installs, and so there's a tab in here for Mound Ridge looks. And you can see that if I click on that, well, here's the 2020 defense where we check bear versus their tight set, And so if you want to know formation adjustments or how we plan to line up versus an opponent, this is where you would go and get that information. There will be a special teams section. Right now, it's empty. I went ahead and dumped everything out of that, and then Coach Monahan and Coach Vandegrift and myself will start building, uh, special teams plays in there, punt return, punt, etc. All those things will be in this area. Okay, so for probably the next, I don't know, most useful area would be to go to this team profile. And on here, team profile, you'll see there's some clips that we've shared out or put together recently. This is kind of like a timeline of what's going on. You can see upcoming opponents over here. There's videos. What I would say is go to this team tab. And so our roster is listed here, and it's sorted by this year. You can see that only this year's players are visible. We're in the 2021 season. But if I was Trent Rogers, and I click on Trent, and I wanted to see any highlight that was put together about Trent. Well, here is Trent's junior year. So this is a collection from last season. And you can see the games are listed individually in here. So if Trent wanted to go back and revisit his highlights from the Lebo game, he could simply click on that. What I do in Hudl is I will go through and I will, as I'm coding in our game film, I will, tag different players in highlight clips, things where they made outstanding plays. And that way, if you want to send something out to a college, or we send stuff out to different publications to try and get some postseason recognition, this is kind of the starting point. So you can go in here and you can click on it, and there's 47 views of this. This is 7 minutes and 19 seconds, so it probably wouldn't be something you'd send out, to a college because it's a little long, but it would be a good point or a good place for us to start when we wanted to, find a collection of plays that kind of highlight, you as an individual. So these are all your best plays are found here. Okay. The last, so in here you've got a stats button, and we use an online stats program, so it'll get pulled in here, and most of the time it pulls over fairly timely. We did have a couple snafus last year where it was splitting. I know it split Kale up into two people there for a while, and did some weird things like that, but we use a stat program that these things come up pretty quickly, and then this is how we share all of those stats out. So there's reports in here that we have access to that we could send out on a weekly basis to the media. So anyway, that's a quick rundown of how you would navigate Hudl if you were looking at it on your son or on your machine or whatever. If you have a login, you could get in and check Hudl anytime. And if you ever have any questions about how you can answer those things, just shoot me an email and I'll do my best to answer your question.